Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity. Your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't know you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Rage, don't waste it on me. Life's telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Life's telling you, don't waste it on me. What to think about? But when you're born into a fire, let 'em burn it out. You sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're here with the Pelican Snoballs Superspeedway Series, and we are in the trucks at Talladega. Currently Todd Mays quickest on the board. Tony Brennan, Carl Burke right behind him as we're getting ready to go into qualifying. Mark Shavers, Kyle Mays also in the top 5. We expect Todd Mays to have a quick qualifying lap here. We'll see where he ends up. First out on the track, Kyle Mays in the 55. Warming up those tires, getting up to speed. Logan Hagerman out on track as well in that 7-Up truck. Brad Mushbaum in the number 3. James Kuckel, the 48. He's getting up to speed. Keith Miller in the number 30. Bobby Mays in the number 5 truck. There's Tony Brennan in the 65. He was second quickest in practice. Steve Loving in the number 27. He rolls off the grid. Carl Burke in the 53. Coming around to take his first timed lap. Mashburn quickest on the board right now in the number 3, a 56.88. Burke 5 seconds off the pace as he was running that outside line trying to get up to speed. Mays with a 56.85, slightly quicker. Logan Hagerman now top of the board. Brennan beats him, so everyone jumping up to the top of the board right now as we run. Tony Brennan back on top, 56.17 for Tony. Brad Mashburn at 56.13, a quick lap for the number 3. Logan Hagerman now trying to come around and get his best lap here. Across the line, Logan Hagerman moves to 3rd quickest within a 10th of the 55. Now Mays, that's Bobby Mays in the 5, moves up to 3rd quickest. Mark Shavers on track at the 15. He's coming around to get his first lap. He'll move up 8th quickest. 10th quickest. Keith Miller moves up to 8th quickest. Steve Loving to 2nd. Todd Mays was quickest in practice. Of course, that was with a draft. Currently 12th on the board, Ronnie Osmer in the 02. He gets out there with a pretty quick lap, 8th quickest. Where Todd Mays ends up on a 2nd lap. Mark Shaver's up to 3rd. Todd Mays now 3rd quickest in the 25. There's Mark Shavers. He qualifies in 4th. Sylvan Seguin in the 66. He's out there in that Ricky Bobby style truck. Josh Hall in the 81. He's out on track. Running that old Square D scheme. Kind of looks like a Kenny Wallace car. He's the 81 Square D car. Sylvan Seguin, there he is in the 66. Colin Willems in the 17. Moves to 15th quickest. So he was trying to get up to speed. Just inches off that yellow line. You see him right there on it. Shortest way around the track, full throttle. He's going to go all the way down onto the apron. That's legal in qualifying. And 11th quickest for Colin Willems. Eddie Morris out there in the number 8. He's on his first time lap. Sylvan Seguin, 15th quickest. These guys right next to each other on the track. Morris comes around. First time lap for the number 8 truck. Running that patriotic scheme. 10th quickest for the number 8. Took a ride along with Eddie Morris from the cockpit view. Just holding as straight as you can. Try and get a smooth turn down into the corner. Hold it right against that yellow line on the bottom. Smooth lap for Eddie Morris. He was within a 10th on his first lap. Top 10 currently within a 10th of each other. Eddie Morris up to 8th quickest, 0.06 off the pole. Zach McBride currently chilling in the pit lane. "22 competitors in tonight's Super Speedway race. We've got less than a minute until we get started tonight. Cal May's going to be your pole sitter. Josh Hall, he qualifies on that outside pole. Steve Loving in 3rd. Todd Mays 4th. Mark Shavers is going to be your top 5 in tonight's starting grid as we get ready to go through that grid here in about 15 seconds. This is the regular season finale. Be heading to the playoffs after this one. Currently, Will Witt, James Kunkel, Todd Mays, Colin Willems, Steve Loving, Logan Hagerman, Zach McBride, Keith Miller, Cody Moore, Kyle Mays, Eddie Morris, Derek Chaput, all locked in to the top 12. Eddie Morris and Derek Chaput both with wins and lock themselves into the chase group, the top 12. A couple of these guys needs wins, or they need to get several more points to try and get ahead of Kyle Mays. He's currently the last one in without a win. Everyone trying to run down him, but he is tonight's pole sitter. As we take a look through the grid, Kyle Mays is tonight's pole sitter here in the Pelican Snowballs Superspeedway Series finale, regular season finale that is. We get ready to go into the chase. Outside pole, Josh Hall in the 81. Starting in third, Steve Loving in the number 27. Todd Mays, fourth place in the number 25. Starting fifth, Mark Shavers in the 15. Brad Mashburn in the number 3. He'll start sixth. Bobby Mays, the number 5, rolling off 7th. From 8th starting spot, the number 8, Eddie Morris. Logan Hagerman, going to start 9th, the number 7. Tony Brennan rounds out our top 10, number 65. In 11th, James Kunkel, number 48. Colin Willems in the 17. He's going to roll off 12th position tonight. Ronnie Osmer starting 13th, the 02. We take a look at our grid. Nick Mather in 14th. 15th, Keith Miller. 16th, Sylvan Seguin. 17th, Carl Burke. 18th spot, Cameron Austin. 19th, Zach McBride. Dylan Reddy not starting this one. He's league commissioner. Derek Chaput in 20th spot. Shane Gunter out there as well in the number 22. That is tonight's starting grid. Kyle May is going to lead us off. He needs a good race tonight to make sure he seals his spot in the points. Kyle Mays and Josh Hall. Our front row for tonight. We've got 60 laps. If we get a first-time winner tonight, they'll be locked into the playoffs if they've started 8 races. As the pace car begins to dip into the pit lane. Waiting for that green flag. Green flag, there it is. Kyle May is going to get us started. And already a big gap on the outside lane. See if people choose to dip down to the bottom. They're going to leave Josh Hall out there by himself on that outside lane. Todd Mays chooses to jump down in 4th spot. Steve Loving already making a move for the lead. 2 lanes, 2 solid lanes. Still out there running. Steve Loving from the inside to the outside now, side by side with leader Kyle Mays, who's going to get to the line to lead the first lap. Josh Hall out front. Steve Loving jumps to the bottom, man. This outside lane, a lot of momentum. Leader after leader jumping up front. Josh Hall out front. Hagerman now side by side for the lead, getting a shove from the number 02 of Ronnie Osmer. Will it be enough to push him out front as that outside lane looks a little less stable than it did just last lap? O2 with fantastic pushing down the front stretch through the tri-oval. Right locked onto the bumper of the number 7 of Hagerman. Hagerman's now got his truck out in front of Josh Hall, but can he get down to the bottom lane? Not going to have room to get down. Yes, he will. He sends it to the bottom lane. Logan Hagerman now in the lead. Osmer's now getting the push. A lot of momentum in that outside lane. Logan leads the lap. In the 7, Osmer now side by side. Eddie Morris in the 8. Trying to give a push, but seems to be a little left and right behind the 02. They are side by side the entire length of the field. Some fantastic super speedway racing right here in the Pelicans Snowballs Super Speedway Series. Josh Hall, man, locking to the bumper of Hagerman as he shoves him back out ahead of Osmer. The bottom lane trying to counter the momentum that has been building in the outside. Osmer up ahead now. Can he get to the bottom? Will he choose to do so? They're 3 wide back in the pack. Carl Burke stuck up on the outside lane. As they continue to go 3 wide, and he is just stuck out there by himself. That is the 53 of Carl Burke, and he will drop all the way back. The very tail of the field. Now he'll get back into line. Logan Hagerman still out front. Josh Hall doing a fantastic job keeping him there. Osmer leading the outside lane with that aid of Eddie Morris giving him a shove. Can the O2 get to the bottom? Not going to be able to do it in this corner. And Eddie Morris goes to the third lane. And he'll get hung out to dry as the 17 chooses the O2 in the middle. Now they'll have to rebuild that momentum and try and get back up to the front. Steve Loving's now going to jump up to the outside lane and get in the lead. He's going to try and work his way around the 81 and the 7. And Steve Loving now out front. Will he have room to get down? The O2 trying to peek that nose out, keep that truck cool. But Josh Hall is he's so strong in that bottom lane, pushing Logan Hagerman. And he is keeping that bottom lane afloat, not letting anybody get down right now. We'll have to see if Josh Hall ever has an overheating issue. I know sometimes when you're down there, you're pushing really hard, trying to keep that bottom lane ahead in that second position in the bottom lane to get your truck or car overheating pretty quickly. And you see right there on the bumper, no air getting to that 81's grill. And he is holding them ahead lap after lap. Josh Hall, very impressive down there, second car in the bottom lane. We can take a look here at just what Josh Hall is seeing out of his front windshield, and it's all Logan Hagerman's back bumper. This bottom lane getting a lot of momentum. They're pulling away now from the outside lane. Top three are all out there by themselves. That's the 15 of Mark Shavers moving to the outside lane. Steve Loving going to try and go around. Osmer goes with him, but everyone else chooses the 15. Osmer now to the outside wall. Saves it. Doesn't come down in front of the pack. Pretty impressive. But there's going to be some damage to the outside of that truck. He's going to try and get back up to speed and not lose the draft. And there they go. There's a big wreck. Actually, it may not be a big wreck, but I do see some people spinning. Like the 37 and the 5 involved. Oh, right there, the 25 and the 27. Take a look from the chopper cam. As we go through the tri-oval, the 27, not sure if he's trying to side draft or what, but comes right down into the side of the 25. Sends him down through the grass. Checks up the 5, the 37 of Chaput. Down on the inside, maybe touch the apron, but comes up into the number 5. Those trucks go around. Little left front damage for the 5. Everyone else seems to have gotten away without a lot of damage. See quite a bit of left front damage for the 5. The O2 is up front right around that. Able to get through that unscathed as he had moved to the back of the pack. Let's take a look from the O2's view. As he was dropping to the back of the pack. And then chaos kind of starts right in front of him. Able to avoid it. Everyone down the pit lane right now. Off first is Keith Miller. He didn't pit. Josh Hall, he'll be the first one off pit lane. So Keith Miller choosing to stay out, take the track position. Josh Hall will be second. Logan Hagerman in third. Colin Williams comes out of the pits in fourth. Mark Shavers in fifth position. So the first 10 laps, very clean. A lot of great side-by-side action. Josh Hall been a great pusher for Logan Hagerman, who has been out front for most of this one. 02 of Ronnie Osmer had a little issue right before the caution come out. Hit that outside wall, but he's up to 12th now after that pit stop. Kyle Mays, our pole sitter, he's back to 13th position. Osmer coming down to repair a little more damage. He'll choose to go to the back of the field. Todd Mays fastest in practice. He got tagged and all that. Sent through the infield. The truck doesn't look too bad. Should be all right for the 25. No front end damage. That's what matters the most here in these trucks. They're very sensitive on the front end. Cameron Austin, he's gained 11 positions since we started. Same with Sylvan Seguin. These guys have gained several positions from the beginning of the race, so these guys are starting to move their way up. Logan Hagerman's up 8 spots, and Colin Williams up 8 spots. Everyone in the top 8 has gained positions to get to where they're at. The number 30 of Keith Miller, he chose to pit. After all, he'll restart in 20th position. TJ Floyd out there in the number 49 in 22nd position. I'm sure we'll be seeing him before the night's over. Very good super speedway racer. Josh Hall going to be the control car. As we wait for the pace car to pull down. Green flag, Josh Hall takes off. Hagerman already down to the inside line. Everyone gets up to speed. Single file around the bottom, Carl Burke. He moves up there in front of Eddie Morris. '16 of Nick Mather out there on that outside line too. They're all trying to move their way up. This outside lane will work in the trucks. There's the 15 of Mark Shavers. He's going to try and work his way up to the front. 5th position right now in that outside lane as they work their way forward. 17 of Colin Willems going to take a chance on the outside. Now this outside line really starting to gain members, gain momentum. One down to the inside, trying to get out of the lead pack. That was the 46 of Zach McBride. Colin Willems now side by side for the lead with Josh Hall. 17 of Colin Willems on the outside, Josh Hall on the inside. Willems getting a big push from the 15 of Mark Shavers. And he's going to have him out front to lead the lap. The outside line has had a lot of momentum in this one. A lot of lead changes so far in the first 15 laps. There goes Colin Willems to the inside, had just enough room. And that gets the inside lane a little bit squirrely. But they're able to continue. Josh Hall now in second. And he's going to be the pusher for the 17 truck. Outside line trying to gain the momentum as they go through turns 1 and 2. You see the 15 working down, getting a little side draft, moving forward. Outside line just zigzagging back and forth. And that works as Mark Shavers moving up towards the 17. Not going to have enough momentum to get around as they head down through the corner, but out of the corner, they're going to have a head of steam. Can he get up beside the 17 of Colin Willems? There he is side by side. Josh Hall, such a great pusher. Down on that inside line, keeping the inside line ahead of the outside line, as typically the outside has the momentum. But if that pusher down on the bottom can hold the leader out front, it's critical. And Josh Hall has done a fantastic job tonight, keeping that inside line ahead of the outside line. As we've got a couple of the Mays brothers working the outside line. Kyle Mays, Todd Mays, trying to work that third lane. Ronnie Osmer trying to choose if he wants to go up there or not. Osmer choosing that middle line, only 2 of them up there. Not going to have quite enough momentum. Mark Shavers still trying to find his way up to Colin Willems, but I tell you what, Josh Hall has single-handedly controlled this race from that inside line, pushing the leader, no matter if it was Colin Willems or Logan Hagerman. He is keeping that outside line at bay. And now the inside line starting to truly prevail. 3 guys. Got now single file, now 4. As the 48 of Kunkel now moves to the outside line. Mark Shaver's not having it. He goes around on the inside. And Kunkel's going to get shuffled out. He was in the 3rd position, and he's going to drop back all the way to 9th now. We've got clouds here at Talladega. It's getting a little bit dark. A cloudy day. Colin Willems out front. Josh Hall right behind him. Mark Shaver's continuing the attack on the outside line, just not able to get enough momentum. Nick Mather right behind him. A little bit of a gap between the two. That's going to cause these guys to drift back. And the 2 Mays trucks on that outside line trying to work their way around. Now have Ronnie Osmer to help as they look to go 4 wide. They choose to drop down into the center lane. Now Nick Mather heads to the outside lane and they leave him hanging. Mather gonna drop back. Thought he had friends there, but they all choose to go with the 15 instead. Now Kyle Mays looking to the outside. Todd Mays with a nose out there. Who's going to be the first to go? That inside line just continuing to be strong. Outside line just cannot get enough momentum. And Josh Hall, man, so impressive there in the 2nd spot in that low lane. He's trying to dip out and get a little air on the nose. And he pushes that 17 back into the lead once again. Nobody's got a chance as long as Josh Hall is 2nd in the bottom line. There goes Hagerman out of the outside. And they're going to shuffle him out. Mark Shavers wants to be the one leading that outside line. And anybody that jumps up in front of Shavers, he's just shuffling them out. That's 3 in a row now. That's causing that outside lane to lose momentum, but they're back again. Shavers now with a nose out front. Can this be the run that gets him out there and down to the inside lane? He takes a look. He's not able to get there. Josh Hall with another big push to the back of Colin Willems gets him back into the lead. And just for a second here, you see Colin Willems in the 17 and Josh Hall in the 81 right behind him. Now they're separated by 0.07 of a second, and in qualifying the top 8 trucks were separated by 0.07. So you see actually on the racetrack just how close these guys were in qualifying. But now the outside lane with another charge. Man, look at just how close that 81 gets to the 17 as he is shoving him down the backstretch, not letting that 15 get down to the inside. Very impressive. He holds that at line again. Osmer's now trying to work the outside line with Hagerman, those two up on that third lane. The 8 of Eddie Morris, he's out there as well, trying to get the third lane going. We're 3 wide here at Talladega. Now only 3 or 4 trucks in that middle lane. Mark Shavers now gets a big run. He will get to the bottom. Pretty sure Josh Hall really had to try and cool his engine there as he had been pushing so hard for so many laps. But now without Josh Hall, as the second car in the bottom lane, you see this outside line with just so much momentum. Pole sitter Kyle Mays now the first truck in the outside. Outside lane just disorganized right now. You see those guys breaking off and trying to make it 3 wide. But as the inside lane is 10 trucks strong, the outside lane's trying to separate themselves and only be 2 or 3 trucks. It's just not going to work, as you see the bottom 3 kind of get single file there for a second. Now we're starting to get a few more trucks in those outside line. Kyle Mays with a big run. Can he take Todd with him? Oh, there they go, crashing into the outside wall. Somehow not a caution. Hagerman, he was involved. The 25 of Todd Mays, he's involved as well. Let's see if we can find just what happened. We'll try and take a look from the chopper cam. Down the front stretch, the 55 was out front. The 48 had a run. The 25 looked like he was trying to block it, but he was already there. And they both go hard into the outside wall, but they do not wreck. We've got green flag pit stops, some trucks heading in. Colin Willems down, Cameron Austin, Josh Hall, Sylvan Seguin, Eddie Morris, Ronnie Osmer, Carl Burke, James Kunkel, all these guys coming down the pit lane. We're right here at halfway. Rest of the pack, Kyle Mays out front. Let's see if these guys choose to come down pit lane this time. And a few of them do. A few stay out. Oh, one misses pit lane and hits the cone. That's going to be a penalty. That looked like the 16 of Nick Mather that hit the cone. He'll have to take a time penalty. Steve Loving, Zach McBride, Tony Brennan, and Logan Hagerman all still out on track. You see Logan Hagerman with some front end damage from that incident with Todd Mays and the 48 of James Kunkel. We take a look when these guys come in this time, but they're going to continue on. Hagerman chose to pit that time, try and fix that damage. He's going to be alone for a second. With these guys continuing to draft, the rest of the pack kind of broke up right now. You see Colin Willems, he's out there with just two trucks, him and Cameron Austin in the 77. Ronnie Osmer, Carl Burke, and Josh Hall out there in a 3-pack. Kyle Mays right behind them, trying to not lose that draft. Bobby Mays out there by himself. The 22, Shane Gunter and Eddie Morris, they're all out there by themselves. We've got the top 3 heading down pit lane now. Steve Loving, Zach McBride, and Tony Brennan, they may gain some time by staying out there by themselves and being able to draft in a 5-car draft with a couple of the guys who had already pitted. We'll have to see where they end up as the leaders come around. And the leaders coming around. Steve Loving just now coming out of the pit lane. So Colin Willems with a very quick pit stop. And he's going to work his way into the lead. These groups starting to come back together. Steve Loving probably going to be able to hold on to the back of this pack. Osmer and Burke choose to go to the outside, try to make the pass. Not really going to be able to work. Now the inside line is 4 trucks strong. Steve Loving doing the best he can to not lose the draft, but he is fading. Let's see if he can reel them back in. He's going to be able to. He's going to have actually quite the run as those two on the outside end up having to drop to the inside. He's going to choose to try and leapfrog the 53. Goes to the outside. No help out there. He'll have to drop back down to the bottom. So a 7-car draft way out front of Tony Brennan in 8th. You see a huge difference. This is the second group. If they can get linked up together, Hagerman in this group, Tony Brennan, he's been fast this season. Zach McBride, he's very quick. Eddie Morris in the 8. Sylvan Seguin, Shane Gunter, Bobby Mays, all in this second 7-truck group. They're going to catch the 30. And if the 30 can jump out there and kind of stick with these guys, it'll be 8 versus 6. That may be enough to help them reel in the lead group. We'll see. They're catching them just a little bit, but not a whole lot. Back in the third group, led by Todd Mays. Only 4 trucks in that group. Todd Mays, James Kunkel, Mark Shavers, Brad Mashburn. Out front, though, Colin Willems starting to catch some more of these smaller groups. As now those 2 lap trucks jump onto the back of this lead pack. 37 of Derek Chaput and Nick Mather in the 16, who had the pit entry penalty. These guys all remaining single file. Kyle Mays just needs a good finish to try and get into the playoffs. Colin Willems already with the win, so he's not concerned about him. When will someone make a move? Colin Willems out front, Cameron Austin in second. Josh Hall, the 81, currently sits third spot. These guys are running away now from the second group once these 2 lap trucks got into this group, made it a 9-car line instead of a 7-car line like the second group. They've really kind of pulled ahead about another half second, now 8 seconds over the second group. And these guys were running 19-20 laps on that last set. They should be in their pit window to make it in about 3 laps. Let's see if anybody chooses to go early. Or is everyone going to stay out there until they run out of fuel? Now the second group with Hagerman in the lead. Everyone jumping on with Hagerman. They are now running down the front group. They've gained 7/10 in the last 2 laps. You see the difference up on ahead of them, just how much distance that 7 seconds truly is. It's a long way away. Morris tries to get around on the outside, but he'll have to dip back to the back of the pack. Hagerman now getting the push from the 65 of Tony Brennan. These guys back in 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way back to 15th position. Actually, 14th position now. The front group continually gaining some of these lap trucks and getting larger and larger is going to make it more difficult for the second group to catch them. These guys should be in their pit window to make it to the end from here. Probably going to run a few more laps to make sure that they can make it if there's a green-white checker. Single file, two groups. Colin Williams out front. Cameron Austin with the push on the second spot. Josh Hall, who's been probably the strongest truck in my opinion tonight, running in third position. Second group has now gained a second on the front group, now within 7 seconds. Logan Hagerman back there trying his best to keep this second line organized. The third group has really just lost contact completely. They are a half a lap down to our leader. Todd Mays in 15th. James Kunkel, that 48, he's running 16th. Mark Shavers, 17th. Brad Mashburn in 18th. Those are the last four trucks on the lead lap, and as you can tell, they are half a lap down. Shane Gunter now in the pit lane. He's going to be the first one to head down. Comes in all by himself. And misses his pit box, has to back up. Looks like he had a little damage that he needed repaired. Colin Williams continues to lead here at Talladega. All these trucks behind him staying in line, keeping themselves well ahead of the second group. Right now, it's a 7-truck race. They're already starting to catch the 22, who's just losing a lot of time, choosing to pit by himself. This lead group has now taken that second back away from the second group. Now 8.2 seconds ahead as they are really pulling away. And it's as they're catching this lap truck, they're really gaining time. The second group is just losing a lot of momentum. They've now lost 2 seconds. They're 9 seconds back now. Brian Nudie in the chat pulling for the 17 or the 81. They've certainly got a chance. 81 has been the best pusher. The 17 has led probably the most laps tonight. As we look again at the pit strategy, they run 19-20 laps on their last stint. A couple of guys getting 22, 21. They're currently at 18 laps. When will they choose to pit? These guys have pulled out 2.5 seconds there in the last few laps on the second group as they were trying to pass the 22. The 81, he's going to head down into the pit lane. There everyone goes. The entire lead group down into the pit lane. Those couple of trucks that stayed out were all guys that were a lap down. The second group chooses to stay out. Actually, a couple of those guys pit as well. Only 5 trucks still out on the racetrack. Logan Hagerman now out front. These guys not pitting yet. They stayed out a few extra laps last time and ended up well behind the other group, so choosing the same strategy here. Eddie Morris pit that time all by his lonesome. As we see these guys who've already pitted trying to get lined back up, but them being separated, that may make a difference. Those other guys drafting together, trying to gain time. There they go down the pit lane. Here they come. Brennan chooses to stay out. He's going to try and get a lap led. Tony Brennan now out front. He's going to lead the lap, but he's out there by himself. He's going to try to go to the outside of the 30 and the 16. 3 wide now, the leader on that outside. He's losing a lot of time being out there by himself. Colin Willems has now moved into second spot. Logan Hagerman just now coming out of the pit, so you see just how far behind these guys are now. A long distance behind the leader, now second position as we wait for Tony Brennan to pit. But these guys starting to get side by side with only 9 laps to go. Not sure if the second group's going to be able to catch these guys, even though that they are racing side by side. Tony Brennan stays out another lap. Eight trucks, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 in the second Battling for second. Steve Loving now going to get to the inside line. Tony Brennan now coming down the pit lane. But the battle, this is going to be the battle for the lead as they'll go around the pitting 65. Josh Hall now trying to make his move to the outside of Loving. 55 of Kyle Mays, the pusher on the outside lane. He was our pole sitter, very fast truck, the 55. He's going to get the 81 out front. Josh Hall now to the inside. A new leader here at Talladega. That's the 81, Josh Hall. Colin Willems jumps to the outside line. Nope, that's Steve Loving, excuse me, in the 27. Does not want to give up the lead. He's going to try and get around Josh Hall. Seven to go. Steve Loving out front. Colin Willems with a big push down on the inside. Josh Hall, he's got the nose out front, but these guys in the outside line are not giving up, battling side by side. 37 of Derek Chaput, he's up there in that third lane, or in the outside lane, excuse me. He's first truck a lap down right now. We see now the second group is 13 seconds, almost 14 seconds behind the leaders. So without a caution, these guys are not going to have a chance. Only 3 trucks in this group as well. Steve Loving still out front. He's trying to maintain that second line. Kyle Mays looking to go to the outside, gets a push from the 53. Gets a little bit unsettled. That outside lane loses a lot of momentum. That 27 trying to stay up there in the outside line and not go to the bottom. Josh Hall in the lead, Colin Willems in second. Cameron Austin third truck in the bottom line. Here comes Loving and Mays once again. They're out there by themselves now. Osmer jumps up there to give some help. And the 55 overheating. Outside lane loses a lot of momentum with only 3 trucks out there. And Kyle Mays chooses to go to the inside. These guys abandoning Steve Loving in the outside lane. And Steve trying to hold on to the lead on the outside. Osmer with a big push and the momentum. Loving now backs door to door with the 81 of Josh Hall. 4 laps left. And even with all this side-by-side battling, these guys, the top 7, have pulled away another second from the second group. Now everyone jumping up to the outside line, trying to get out front, down to the inside. The pressure's on Colin Willems to keep the inside line where it's at. Three to go. The whole front group side by side. Neither line can really push out there and get an advantage. Loving now with the momentum. Will he drop to the bottom or maintain the outside lead? He will go to the bottom. That's going to allow Osmer to immediately go right around. Kyle Mays about to lose control back there. Final 2 laps, Josh Hall, he's been the best pusher all night. He's now pushing Steve Loving. Now he's going to go to the outside. The 17 goes with him. That's going to create a vacuum for the 27 as there was nobody really there to push him immediately. And he's going to drop back. There's going to be 3 trucks now out there single file. The 02 chooses to stay out front. Both the 81 and the 17 get around. Loving will be stuck in the middle of the pack. So we're heading to the white flag. Osmer out front, final lap. They get sideways behind, several trucks crashing, hard impact for Steve Loving and the 53 involved as well. Another truck with a hard crash. That was the 77. But out front, Ronnie Osmer, the 55 with a huge push down the backstretch. Is he going to try and drop down to the inside? Ronnie Osmer still out front. Now he's going to try and stop the momentum of the 81. He's going to do it. Ronnie Osmer out front. Can the 81 get enough of a run? He's now outside. Colin Willems choosing to push the 81, the 55 of Kyle Mays. Oh, with a push that's a little too hard. Josh Hall's gonna win. Colin Willems in second. Kyle Mays comes home third spot. And Ronnie Osmer will end up fourth position with that push there at the end. Take a look at that last crash. These guys were all driving down into the corner trying to gain a few positions. The 53 and the 27 come together. Right there on the door-to-door, 27 down into the 77, back up into the 53 like a pinball. And these two take violent hits to the outside, especially the 27. Hard hits, nose first to the outside wall. Josh Hall, he is your winner tonight. You can tell he's done a burnout a time or two before, burning down the entire front stretch almost. Fantastic finish for Josh Hall, as he is taking his victory lap. Let's see if we can get a word from our third place finisher. Don't see him in the Discord. Well, we'll get a word from second place finisher Colin Willems in the 17. Hey, Colin, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, it's going good, man. That was a fantastic race. Only one caution, a lot of side-by-side racing. You got out front there for a while in a single line and really pulled away from the second group. What did it look like out there, and what was it going to take to get just at one more spot to get the win?
No, that was a fantastic race. That was some of the most fun I've had in a while at a super speedway. Lots of clean racing, lots of green flag. I was just saying to the guys in the Discord there with a few laps to go that I was surprised the lead pack was still as large as it was after going through 2 green flag cycles through the pits, because usually that spreads everybody out, right? So that was a great race all around.
What was it going to take for you to get around Josh Hall, or were you kind of committed to pushing him to a victory?
I was fully committed to pushing him to a victory. He worked with me for like the first half of the race. When I was up front, never wavered, wasn't selfish, very, very team player-esque. So when it came down to that at the end, I was willing to give it back to him.
Fantastic, Colin. Great race. You got anybody you'd like to thank?
I would like to thank you, Dakota, for doing this. You do a great job. I love watching it back the next day. Love the excitement. Dylan Redding for putting this on. All the boys out there, I want to give a huge congrats to Josh Hall as well. Thank my wife Cassie, Nick, Cora, and anybody else who might have been watching.
All right, well, have a good one, man. We'll be seeing you in the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Dakota.
That was second place finisher Colin Willems. Let's try and get a word from Josh Hall. He's sitting there at his start-finish line. Get a better look at this good-looking truck. There he is. Josh Hall, our winner. Hey, Josh, is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Man, I got you loud and clear.
Man, you're out there. I was bragging on you all race because you were there. You're like second car in the bottom lane the whole race, and nobody could hold the bottom line momentum like you could and keep that outside line at bay. What's the secret to drafting here at Talladega in these trucks?
Man, it was like I told Colin, Colin, and Logan were going to work together from the beginning because I needed to win to get into the playoffs. And when I was pushing Logan there at the beginning, or it might have been Colin, I can't remember, I said, I'm controlling this race. I'm going to sit here in second place. I'm going to control that outside. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was just trying to stay on his bumper where I could, cool off when I needed to, and then stay there on his back bumper. And then when Logan got shuffled there to the back during pit cycle, me and Colin, we said we were going to work together to the end, and we all just nailed pit stops there to get ourselves in contention to win. And then, I don't know, it's just a crazy move I made there on the last lap to get back around Ronnie. That was a great run that Ronnie had there, and I just had to throw it in there and just see what I could do.
Yeah, that was fantastic coming down to the line between all four of you guys right there at the end. What was that last move? I mean, he come down to the inside, and then you kind of jumped to the outside. I mean, was it just momentum carry out there, or what do you think about that?
Well, I knew I was going to make that move no matter what. It was either going to win it or it wasn't going to. So I knew coming off of turn 4, I needed to keep the momentum off the corner to try to get a good drag race down through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. Just about the time I was going to make the move anyways, Colin came on the radio and said, let's go. And he pushed me right there to the end, and it was just the right move at the right time.
Yeah, fantastic. But I'm right with you on that second car in the bottom lane controlling the race. And, man, you did that fantastic. You know, to be second place and to be dominant, yeah, it was you today. You were a dominant truck out there. So you got anybody you'd like to thank, Josh?
Well, first and foremost, I got to thank Colin and Logan for working with me at the beginning of the race and the end of the race and getting me here in victory lane. I got to shout out you, Dakota. You do a great job on these broadcasts. I enjoy watching them back. And I'll be watching this one back tomorrow for sure. Of course, sorry to say, I got Intensity Broadcasting. I know I don't have him on the car tonight, but the Square D truck was just fantastic tonight. Got to shout out Dylan for putting on the league, and everybody who's helped me out this race. It's just an awesome job. And I want to throw this out there. Congrats to Joe Wright. I know he wasn't here in the race, but I know he just retired from the Coast Guard, so I got to give him a shout out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. Great job tonight, Josh. Clutch win to get you into the playoffs. What do you think your chances are of getting a championship?
Well, if I keep running like that, I think it'll be pretty good.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be talking to you next week. Have a good one, buddy.
Take care, man.
All right, Josh Hall. He was our winner. And he'll take that truck down to victory lane. So Saturday night we'll be with the SERL Truck Series, and Sunday night we'll be back with the SERL Cup Series. We've got some new series coming along in the next few weeks on Mondays and Wednesdays. So stay tuned for new updates and when we might just pop in and go live. And we will see you all on Saturday night for the SERL Truck Series. Make sure you pop in for that and the SERL Cup Series on Sunday. We appreciate everybody for stopping by and watching. And congratulations again to Josh Hall and all the competitive trucks who've made it into the Pelican Snoballs Superspeedway Series playoffs. Congrats to everybody. A great race on this one. Only one caution. Fantastic to everyone out there who raced in this one. We'll see you all on Saturday.